You're not here by accident. This is your daily companion, where faith meets your everyday life. Take a deep breath, and let's begin our journey. Have you ever prayed and heard nothing? Not even a whisper, just silence. You keep showing up, knees to the ground, heart open, but heaven feels quiet. You're not angry, just tired, confused, wondering if you did something wrong or worse, if God has gone missing. But what if the silence is not a punishment? What if it's preparation? You see, silence isn't absence. It's not abandonment. It's a different kind of conversation, one that doesn't speak in words, but in waiting. Let me tell you about Job, the man who lost everything, his children, his health, his wealth. His life turned to ash, and for 37 chapters, God said nothing. Job cried, he questioned, he pleaded, and for pages and pages, God was silent. But God wasn't gone. He was listening, observing, watching Job wrestle through the silence, not with rebellion, but with raw honesty. And when God finally spoke, it changed everything. Or consider Jesus, hanging on the cross, bleeding, dying, crying out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Even the Son of God knew the ache of divine silence. But that silence wasn't rejection. It was redemption, because 3 days later, resurrection broke the silence. Maybe you're in your own 3-day stretch. Maybe God feels distant, quiet, still. But remember this, teachers are often silent during the test, and your faith right now might be on the edge of graduating. Isaiah 45 verse 15 says, "Truly you are a God who hides himself, not because he's cruel, but because he's cultivating something deeper, trust, surrender, endurance." Sometimes silence is the space where your roots grow, where your faith matures, where your identity detaches from outcomes and attaches to presence. Elijah once ran to a mountain looking for God in the wind, the fire, the earthquake. But God came in a whisper. And sometimes when God is silent, it's because he's inviting you to lean in closer, not to fear the quiet, but to find him in it. David wrote in Psalm 13, "How long, Lord, will you forget me forever?" That wasn't a lack of faith. That was the sound of someone choosing honesty with God, even in confusion. And God honored it, because silence doesn't stop God from working. It just shifts the stage. Look around. The seed grows in silence. The stars burn in silence. Even your own bones grow in silence. What if this quiet season is sacred? What if God is doing his deepest work in you, not with noise, but with stillness? He could answer right now. He could thunder from the sky. But maybe, just maybe, he wants to show you something greater. That you can love him, trust him, and follow him, even when there's no obvious sign. That your worship doesn't depend on miracles, but on relationship. That your praise isn't rented by outcomes, but rooted in who he is. So if you're walking through silence right now, take heart. You're not forgotten. You're not ignored. You're being refined. Lamentations 3:25 says, "The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul who seeks him." Waiting isn't wasted. Silence isn't failure. It's a sacred pause before the shift. And when God finally speaks again, when the clouds break and the light floods in, you'll realize he was there all along, whispering through the stillness, strengthening your soul, shaping your story. So breathe again and believe this: God may be silent, but he's never still. If this episode stirred something in you, subscribe and let's grow our faith together. See you again next time.